It's not the Messiah. A Steve rant. I sometimes wonder what the world's coming to, Steve said, taking a swig of his beer. You always wonder what the world's coming to, Johnny replied, mirroring his friend's actions. Well, yes, but it just gets worse. Have you seen this? Steve handed his phone across the bar to Johnny, who read the headline from Wales Online aloud. Dog owner spots Jesus in a puppy's ear while giving him a bath. Johnny laughed and handed the phone back to Steve. It's no laughing matter, Steve said, looking seriously annoyed. What is wrong with these people? Do they really think that a shape in their cornflakes is Jesus Christ our Lord? Dog's ear, Johnny said. What? Steve looked even more annoyed for being interrupted. It was in the dog's ear, not cornflakes, Johnny said. Oh, you know what I mean, Steve said, indignation oozing from his voice. Johnny smiled, sat back and allowed Steve to enter full rant mode. Why always Jesus? These people have no idea what Jesus looked like, but every time there's a vague shape in their ice cream, they decide it's the face of Robert Bloody Powell. Why not Elvis or Andy Murray or Mrs. Jones from 3 Doors Down, who died last week? Steve took a mouthful of ale. And let's just suppose for one moment it is Jesus. Well, what the hell is he doing there? You can imagine the conversation between him and his dad, can't you? Hey, son, I think it's time you reappeared to let the people on Earth know that they are completely misinterpreting your story. Oh, Dad, do I have to? No one took me seriously when I appeared on that piece of toast or in that man's beer. Well, maybe you should go back as a person this time then. What, and be laughed at like when I took over the body of that Coventry City goalkeeper? True. I knew we should have gone for Steve or Grozovich rather than David Bloody Icke. Okay. I've got it. How about you go back as a shape inside a dog's ear? What? Are you mad? No way. Who's God around here? Johnny laughed. He'd never seen Steve so animated. And I wonder what that poor journalist must have been thinking. Look, it says agency staff. They didn't even want to put their name to it. They must have thought she was a muppet. But they have to keep a straight face and be nice to her. Because no doubt she genuinely believes it is Jesus. And of course, they have to fill pages and pages of column inches. Shame it wasn't in both ears, Johnny said. Why's that? Steve looked at his mate quizzically. Well, then it would have been obvious it was a sign. Dog's ears are an anagram of God's arse, which is exactly what this woman is talking out of. Steve smiled and got up to go to the bar. He needed another beer. He'd just about had enough of humanity for one day.